Alright, shalom, shalom. This your brother Amawan coming to the video. Lord, when it's edifying, right, blowing the trumpet. But first and foremost, I want to give all ongoing praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well. Shalom to the hopefully like men that scattered abroad, pushing the truth with all sincerity, right? And also shalom to you very few sincere sisters, right? To you, while I say shalom. And so yeah, quick news update. It says Trump says China will open up to U.S. businesses suspended trade barriers, right? And this was updated 22 minutes ago. Hey man, they bullshitting. You know, one of the elders said they pussyfooting, man. But we know at the end of the day, Esau cannot kick this can too far down the road, like the elder Amwal Gabar always be saying. You know, he can't keep kicking this can down the road. Eventually, it has to pops off. You know, so even though China called Trump bluff, right? Hey, we still, it's something still can pop off behind this, right? And I'm gonna grab those scriptures. You know, it's just to keep the people at ease. It's to keep the people at ease, right? We still have the Karagma on the table. Digital ID is there, right? We still got a surge of blackouts, on the table. So it's just to keep the people minds at ease, because now a lot of people are paying attention to what's going on. So it is trying to keep the people at ease, man. So I'm gonna read some of this, and grab a couple of scriptures. Like I said, Logan is edifying. So Trump says China will open to U.S. businesses, suspend trade barriers. Right, and we, what I'm saying, hey, it was likely to really happen anyway, though. When you look at it, because that's America's number one partner. But we're just hoping that it was a possibility the whole time. But we're just hoping that they both would stand on business on both sides. But Trump folded. But anyway, to some key points, President Trump said China agreed to open after the two countries agreed to temporarily slash most of the tariffs on each other's goods, right? And I think they said it was for 90 days. Matter of fact, in the third bulletin, for 30 days. 90 days, 3 months. Excuse me. Trump said that was maybe the most important thing to come out of trade talks with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer, and their Chinese counterparts. The U.S. and Chinese officials said they struck an agreement to pause most tariffs and other trade barriers for 90 days, right? And so that's most, right? In 3 months, so we in May, June, July, August, that's when they, supposedly supposed to pick back up. But hey, all we can do is watch. That's our job, is to watch. And hey, one of the brothers had beautifully said, with this, pausing, hey, it still gives us more time to get ourselves correct in the spirit, because, hey, with those tariffs, that was supposed to go down this month. Stores would have been empty. The ship containers wasn't coming in. It was finna get slapped ugly by the end of this month. So, hey, and that just goes to show you, the mercy within Yahweh Shem Yahushua, hey, giving us more time to, get ourselves ready, because this storm is coming. This storm is definitely coming. I'm not gonna read all of this, I'm not gonna read all of it. I'm gonna leave the link, just in case your brother want to pick up on it as well. But it says President Donald Trump said on Monday that China agreed to open up after the two countries announced that they would temporarily slash most of the tariffs on each other's goods. Trump offered few deals about the development, but said it was maybe the most important thing to come out of the high-level trade talks between the two superpowers, Geneva, Switzerland, over one weekend. All right. Trump indicated that those purported commitments have been cemented yet. We have to get it prepared, he said at the White House before signing an executive order on U.S. drug prices, but they have agreed to open up to China. Trump remarks came hours after U.S. and Chinese officials said they struck an agreement to pause most tariffs and other trade barriers for 90 days. So we're going to see what's going on. In 3 months from now, the U.S. agreed to temporarily reduce tariffs on China to 30%, down from 145. Damn. It says Beijing said it will lower tariffs on U.S. goods to 10% from 125. Damn. It's a big ass jump. So things are, that'll have people smiling, and that'll give people a relief, But us men of the Lord, us prophets, right? We're still on point, right? Because we know our enemy. We know our enemy. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna just stop right there. Oh, let me read the second. Excuse me. Let me read that right there. It says, but they will go up sustainably, Trump added. Right? And if I'm not mistaken, talking about the goods. Look at that word sustainably. To a great or significant extent, for the most part, essentially. And if that's going into the foods, we're talking about hyperinflation. So let me hit these scriptures right quick. And this right here is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1 through 3 in the NLT. It says, now concerning how and when all this will happen, right? The destruction of this place, Jacob's trouble, implementation of, the MOTB, right? Famine of food, famine to hear the words of the Lord, right? It says, now concerning how and when all this will happen, dear brothers and sisters, we don't really need to write to you, right? For you know quite well that the day of the Lord's return will come unexpectedly like a thief in the night. That's why he said, there's no need to write to the prophets, because, y'all are already on point. We already on point. We paying attention, right? And if you come, and the Lord always keeps talking about come like a thief in the night, So a thief is not going to let you know when he's coming. He's going to come up unexpectedly, So it's your job to be on duty, on prepared, Verse 3. It says, when people are saying everything is peaceful and secure, what are we seeing right now? They just squashed it just like that for 90 days. But hey, when we understand who our devil is, it's nothing for them to still make shit pop off. The first month of them squashing this tariff deal, it's nothing for that. It's easy for that. The pieces are in place to do so, right? It says everything is peaceful. It's like when people are saying everything is peaceful and secure, then disaster will fall on them as suddenly as a pregnant woman's labor pains begin, and there will be no escape, right? Suddenly, just like how it is in Ecclesiastes 5 and 7, right? Suddenly, right? All at an instant, That is like when female get that water break, get that first that first kick of the baby, or that water break on I forgot how the shit is called, But those pains, man, are dilating, Salakia, right? It's gonna come suddenly, man. And you're gonna feel it all at an instant, You're just gonna shock the shit out of you, like, oh shit, it's time, Right? It said then disaster will fall on them, right? Because now, guess what? It's going to put a lot of people on their leads. They're going to be chilling now because, oh man, good news. China done got down, made Trump cave in and put a tariff halt for 90 days. This can be the time where shit can pop off still, So from there, because I mentioned that, I want to go to 2 Corinthians, like I said, because with us just knowing who our enemy is, we still on guard, man. This is our job. He can tell us one thing, but we sticking to the script. Never trust our enemy. The enemy speaks with his lips, but war is in his heart, right? At the end of the day, all of these nations are in cahoots together to what? Keep us dumbed down, right? Keep us into slavery. But what? You know, if we're apostle, it's just deceive the very elect. You know, it's not possible. You cannot deceive us, man. We on point. You know why? Because we come to the source first, the scriptures. 2 Corinthians 2:11. So that Satan will now outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. And that's just all to it. You know, we're familiar with the evil scheme that Esau Edom comes out with. Right now was the NLT version I just read. You know, his scheme, that device is a scheme, a plot, a plan. You know, and we're watching how this devil moves, man. Right? As a matter of fact, let me hit this Revelation 12:12. Just going back to what I had said in the beginning, you know, this man can't keep kicking the can down the road, because end of the day, he's on the time limit, man. That's why, you know, we must be circumspect, because with him being on the time limit, he possibly can't even go the full 90 days before they bust another move, man. He may have to go in the second month or a month and a half in, you know. But we're gonna always watch and see, you know, because we don't know when the Lord's going to come back. But we always try to measure it to the best of our abilities. That's the beauty, and that's the discernment the Lord has gave us, you know, to watch and pay close attention. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil has come down to you having great wrath, because he know that he have but a short time. Right, so that's just the point, that last little part was, but he had but a short time. That's why we know that he can't kick this can for too much longer, because he got a short time. He's on a time period, right? And I'm gonna close out. And hey, that's why we say call all you how about you, Yahweh Shai. You know, because we know the devil ain't got too much longer to be playing around. We know what's on the other side of this trial and tribulation, right? This great hour of temptation, you know. This Habakkuk 2:3, and I'm gonna close out. In the NLT version, this vision is for a future time. It describes the end, and it will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed, and that's the beauty of it, right? You know, because even though they put a halt, or, you know, they came to agreement, you know, we know it's going to eventually happen. We know that a food famine will hit America. We know that Jacob's trouble will hit America. We know that the MOTB will hit throughout the whole earth, you know. So we just patiently waiting. We just steady doing our job. We warning, you know. That's all it is. And this is another warning, you know. Pay attention, because anything can still happen at any given moment, right? Because at the end it shall speak and not lie. No, meaning it's going to play out. It's going to be made manifest. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to give our honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakadash. On to the next one. Shalom.